Namaste, Hari Om. Start.
नमस्ते लक्ष्मी जी।
Namaste, Namaste, Hari Om. ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। दोर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिः स्फटिकमणिमयीम् अक्षमालां ददाना हस्तेनैकेन पद्मं सितमपि च शुकं पुस्तकं चापरेण भासा कुन्देन्दुशङ्क स्फटिकमणिनिभा भासमाना समाना सा मे वाग्देवदेयम् निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना। पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को नयाति परां गतिं गोष्पदीकृतभाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम् नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलिभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। Okay. Now we'll start. So last time, if you had seen, we had looked at the qualities, or you can say Ravana's character, right? And why it was important to look at Ravana's character is that to know what is good, we must know what is wrong, right? Or if there are a few people around us or a few things that are negative, it's not that that person is born wrong or the person is born bad, right? No person or no man is born bad or is born evil. In the course of time, by the qualities that he has, that is by his behavior, is where he becomes evil, or you can say he becomes good, and so on. So the same thing is seen in the case of Ravana also. Though he had many qualities that were very good in him, but still he developed a few vices that led to his destruction ultimately. So next we'll start. Now this is the importance of values. If you see the words in front of you, before we actually dwell into Balakanda, you have this very important verse. आहार निद्रा भयमैथुनञ्च सामान्यमेतत् पशुभिर्नराणां धर्मो हि तेषामधिको विशेषो धर्मेण हीनाः पशुभिः समानाः. This verse is like an eye opener for all of us. It says that aharam is food, nidra sleep, bhaya maithunancha, bhaya is fear, maithunancha is sense organs or things that attract us immediately. Now note one thing, though we consider ahara to be food alone, aharayati iti aharaha. Another meaning is whatever we consume, all that is ahara. So though we in normal terms we say that we consume food, anything that comes, say for example now, whatever comes our way, if someone gives us to eat something, we will eat that. Someone tells us, I'll give you lots of money, we consume that. That is, we accept that. So aharam is mainly like to take anything that comes your way in excess, even though it is not needed. Now already I have 1 crore rupees, still someone says, no, you do something not in the right way, do some other way, and I'll give you say 2 crores more. So like that, it is that meaning of aharam is here. So ahara nidra bhayamaithunancha samanyametat pashubhirnaranam. Samanyam, all this is common. Samanyam etat pashubhirnaranam. This is common between both pashubihi animals as well as naranam. human beings. So this ahara, nidra, bhaya. Now we also fear a few things. Animals also fear. We are also continuously fighting for filling our stomachs. We do this, we do that. Animals also end up doing that. Nidra, sleep is again common for animals as well as man. What differentiates men? Dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshaha. Dharma is nothing but righteousness. Few people loosely translate dharma as religion, spirituality and so on. It is not at all so. Dharma is nothing but good conduct or being on the good path alone. That only is dharma. But problem is many of us we cannot follow even that. No, I am very good. Whatever happens, I'll be very good. I never go on the right path. I never do anything wrong. Never happens that way. We do 10 things correct, one thing surely will go wrong somewhere, right? So that is the reason why most of our problems come in, because some or the other way we cannot follow dharma. Dharma is nothing but rules that have been set out for good behavior. And again, as per Sanatana Dharma, Hindu culture, if you see, there is no compulsion at all. That is the reason why we don't have one specific book. Now, I don't like the Ramayana, you can refer to the Mahabharata. You don't like the Mahabharata, you refer to the Puranas. You don't like the Puranas, you refer to the Vedas. Now, it is not the question of liking or disliking something. Maybe you feel that no, I have more interest towards that. So that can be one reason. So we have many things. We have an entire library open for you. Now, I don't want to follow this path. Just as Krishna tells in the Gita, he tells, okay, why he gives us so many options, starting from Sankhya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sannyasa Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. He gives us so many options. He says nothing you follow. In Bhakti Yoga chapter 12, he says, you don't follow anything. You just keep doing your good things without causing harm. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. Without causing harm to anyone, that itself is great. But that also I will consider as bhakti and bless you, the Lord says. But we go wrong even there, right? Sarva bhuta hite rataha. I do one thing, it will cause trouble to two people, right? I'll give you a very simple everyday example. Say one fine day you go to the kitchen and then you say, I'm not talking about ladies who generally do household work, maybe men or youngsters. So you say, no, I'm going to help my mother today, I'm going to cook food for the entire family. Initially the mother will say, no, you don't do anything. If you do, you're going to cause me double work. Don't do that. You say, no, anyhow today let anything happen, I'm only going to cook. And then you enter the kitchen and then one vessel you pick up, two more you put it down, right? And then your mother, she comes running. She says, why are you doing all this? You just say that you want to help me, instead of making something in one, you put two vessels down. This is going to be double work for me. Still you say, no, I'll pick that up, I'll do everything. Then finally you want to make say for example, you want to make rice. You don't know where there is rice, or you finally find out where there is rice, but there are 2 or 3 types of rice. Now you don't know, maybe first time, a person who goes inside the kitchen for the first time, I'm saying. Again you call out to your mother and say, no, which rice I have to use, I don't know. Again the second time she gets irritated, she says, now you don't know even this also, then why? Instead of asking me so much and instead of wasting time, I will only remove and cook. So this is where I'm giving you a very simple example. Now this is not, we are not causing destruction or trouble. Maybe it's a learning process, but still we try to do something, but it is not in the welfare of everyone. It is causing more trouble to the person. Or it can be anything in our everyday lives also. If we cannot be good, that's why it is said that it is absolutely fine if you cannot do anything good, but do not do anything bad. You don't do anything, that is fine, but don't do anything evil. So that is where this is dharma. So someone asks what is dharma, it is good conduct, good behavior. We fail here, and that is the reason it leads to adharma. Please do not loosely translate dharma as religion or spirituality. Dharma is not limited to only people who believe in God. If someone says tomorrow, no, I don't believe in God, it's absolutely fine. We cannot force them. How can you say this? If you don't believe in God, there is nothing like that. All Indians believe, all Hindus believe. We cannot say that at all, right? Someone does not believe, that is their own personal choice. We cannot go and say, okay, you don't believe in God, that means you don't follow dharma. It is not like that. Dharma is nothing but good conduct. In many books also, if you read the Gita or any other books, many times in the English translations, you will still find dharma translated to be religion, spirituality, Hinduism. All this is wrong. Please note, it is just righteousness or good conduct. That is not doing anything wrong. So here, coming back to the verse, dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshaha. But what separates human beings from other animals is dharma. It is following good conduct. We have a sense, we have brain, we have maybe a mind and a brain to do things which normal animals cannot do, maybe to converse, maybe to think. So this is what makes us different. Dharmena hina pashubhis samanaha. So therefore here the author says that without dharma, we are equal to animals. Pashubhis samanaha. If you are also just fighting now, there are so many people who say that I don't have time for anything, I'm very, very busy. What we do ultimately, we just boast. I work in such a big office, my post is this, my post is that. Why do we do all that? Ultimately to fill our stomachs. Roadside animal is also doing that. Just the difference is it's not working in a big office also, it's just roaming about here and there on the roads trying to find out food. Simple reason. Now does this mean that I should not work? I should not put in efforts to fill my stomach? Ultimately we have to do that. You do all that, but then don't give excuses that you don't have time for following dharma. No, I don't have time for reading the Ramayana. Rest everything I do. When we can eat every day, when we can sleep every day, when we can drink every day, we must take out at least 5-10 minutes to read the Ramayana also. Not only Ramayana, it can be anything. To know what our culture is, to know what our scriptures are. No, all that I'll see after retirement when I don't have anything to do. You don't know whether you'll be alive till then, right? So therefore here it is said that dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhis samana. If you are also doing the same things of just filling your stomach, sleeping, fear, and be getting afraid of things, oh, what tomorrow he'll come and tell me something, tomorrow what will happen to me, what will happen to my children, what will happen to my property, all these things. Even animals are also fearing for their own lives. What if some other wild animal comes and attacks me? What is the difference between you and other animals? Therefore, realize that you are born as a human being, your purpose is something different. Realize that now itself. Second verse, yanti nyaya pravrittasya tiriyanchopi sahayata apanthanam tu gachantam sodaropi vimunchati. Gist of Ramayana. This verse is the gist of Ramayana. Yanti. Yanti means one who goes or one who follows nyaya pravrittaha, the righteous path. Nyaya is the righteous path or the correct path. Tiriyanchaha api sahayata. Tiriyanchaha meaning small creatures. Now in the case of Rama, if you can see the translation, you find animals like squirrels. While building the bridge, small animals like squirrels, they had also supported Rama by carrying small pebbles and stones in their hand. And that's where we have the popular story that he kept their hand on their backs, and we have the 3 lines. That's a folklore, of course. Squirrels, monkeys, bears, they came to the help of Rama. Tiriyanchaha api sahayata. But apanthanam tu gachantam. Apanthanam is gachantam meaning to go. Apanthanam the wrong path. But one who follows, one who goes on the wrong path, sodaropi vimunchati. Sodaraha, one's own brother also will leave. In the case of Ravana, he went on the wrong path, his own brother Vibhishana had to leave him. So this is a gist of the Ramayana. If you are always on the right path, even Stiriyanchaha, small creatures will also come to your help. But if you follow the wrong path, evil path, your own brother will also leave. Gist of the Ramayana. Now note here, Sodaraha api. In this context or in this context it is for real brother Vibhishana. But in general note in Sanskrit that for each and every word there is a separate difference. Sodaraha, Saha Udaraha, Sodaraha. Only for real brothers and sisters, that is only for siblings we can use this word Sodaraha. You cannot use in a generalized term for any brothers or sisters. I'll tell you the reason being, if you break this word, Saha Udaraha Sodaraha. Saha meaning one who shares, Udaraha stomach, womb. So people who share the womb of the same mother, they are only Sodaraha, Sodari. Sodari is Strilingam, Sodaraha Pullingam, masculine, feminine. Note this, for your extra knowledge you can note it down. There are other words that we can use for cousins, or in general if we have to call out someone as a brother or sister, we have Bhrata, Bhagini, Bandhu and so on. But here it is Sodaraha, Saha Udaraha, Sodaraha. So this is the gist of Ramayana.
Saha Udaraha means what you said?
One Udaraha is a womb, people who share the womb of the same mother. So siblings. So these 2 verses, they try to stress upon the importance of values that are there in one person, which Rama and the entire Ramayana tries to show. People who did not follow that, we have already looked at that in detail, the character of Ravana. He did not follow these values, he followed adharma. So that's what to his destruction. So this, now we have seen entire Ravana where he fell down, right? Problem was he had so many women in his life, but thing was he did not follow dharma. He did not know how to behave with them, right? So that's the reason he always abducted them, stealed someone else's spouse, and that's what made him fall down. That's where he followed adharma. That's where he went wrong. So that is what is shown. This is the importance of values. Next, virtues of a complete man. Now these verses that are there, they don't come in the Ramayana directly. They are like different subhashitas from different sources, but they are in the context of the Ramayana, so I have included them. भूतानां प्राणिनश्रेष्ठा प्राणिनां बुद्धिजीवनः बुद्धिमत्सु नरः श्रेष्ठा नराणां सात्विका स्मृताः. Bhutanam is among the plant family. Among the plants, Praninaha Shreshtaha. Animals are still great, right? Because plants, they are just still. But animals, they can have some expressions, they can move about here and there. Though they cannot speak, they are one level high. Pranina Buddhi Jivana. Among the animals, those are better who can think. Buddhimatsu Nara Shreshtaha. And amongst the people who can think, the rest is human beings. Only human beings, we have a brain, we have a mind, we can think. We know, we can discriminate between what is good and bad. Naranam Satvika Spritaha. Among the men also, those who are honest, Satvikaha, those who have good qualities, they are the best. Smritaha. So this is a comparison, these are the virtues. Or who is a complete man? Now what can you remember after hearing this term, complete man? You can remember something? Complete man?
Rama, Lord Rama.
Lord Rama, that is there. No, I am not asking in the context of Ramayana. Something else?
Raymond.
Correct. Raymonds. Okay. But here it is in the context of Ramayana. Complete man. But the brand Raymonds, that also has that. Okay.
Raymond, sir. What is that?
He is telling some brand that is there. Here it is in context of Rama. Okay. Now next verse that comes in. सात्विकेषु च विद्वांसः विद्वत्सु कृतबुद्धयः कृतबुद्धिषु कर्तारः कर्तृषु ब्रह्मवेदिनः. The second verse is a continuation of the first verse. Satvikešu cha vidvamsaha, amongst the satvikas, amongst the people having good virtues too. Vidvamsaha, those who have proper knowledge. Just having good qualities is not enough. Knowledge is also equally important. So vidvamsaha, vidwan, knowledgeable are better. Vidvatsu kritabuddhayaha. Vidvatsu, even among the knowledgeable men, krita buddhaya. Krita meaning to do something. Those who practice that, those who are very, very practical. Okay, I say no, I am very, very knowledgeable. I know the Ramayana, I know the Mahabharata, I know the Gita, I know this, I know that. But someone says, okay, tell what is the Ramayana. No, I know, I read it a few years back, I'll just revise once and tell. This is not krita buddhayaha. If I say that I know the Ramayana, I should be able to tell it to you, right? If I say I know the Gita, someone says, okay, what is the Gita? You tell me in short. No, I just had read about it somewhere. I'll just go through it once and let you know. This is not krita buddhayaha. I might be a vidwan for myself, but only when I can tell it to 4 people, it will be krita buddhayaha. Having knowledge, that is nothing but, today you see, you go to so many schools. Most of you might have young kids at your homes, right? International school, this school, that school, and then they'll have a big banner, right? Or they will maybe in their books or in the parents teachers meeting, all they will say, no, we focus more on practical knowledge. We don't we don't believe in theoretical knowledge. We don't believe in bookish knowledge, this, that, right? So practical learning, this, that they boast about, right? Ramayana has told this thousands of years back. Vidvatsu krita buddhayaha. Among the knowledgeable people, bookish knowledge, theoretical knowledge is not enough. That everyone can do. Only when you can practically explain it, only when you can practically experience that, do it, that's where knowledge succeeds. Krita buddhayaha, krita buddhishu kartaraha. One who does this, now only practical knowledge is not important. One who actually practices that. Today, one day I will do, tomorrow let me see. For example, yogasanas. This happens in the case of many people, right? Yoga class, one day, first year, we have taken a new resolution this new year that I will do yoga every day. 2 days I'll go to the class, third day, let me see. Next week I'll go. That's where we get a gap, we stop, that is wrong. Kritabuddhishu kartaraha, one who keeps doing things continuously. Kartrishu brahmavedinaha. This is, the last line is a bit philosophical. Brahmavedinaha, Brahma meaning the ultimate. Those who know what is the ultimate reality. Those who keep doing things by knowing the ultimate reality, realizing Brahman, that's where the man succeeds. So, starting from being mere animals till realizing what is the ultimate reality, this is where, mute yourself. Okay. So, starting from being mere animals, still realizing what is the ultimate reality. This is how our journey should grow about. This is what is a complete man. Virtues of a complete man. How should a man be? Okay, I am born as a human being. I have 2 ears, 2 eyes, one nose, one mouth. I have 2 parents who look like me only. They are also human beings. That does not make a man complete. It is only the virtues that make us complete. Yeah. Next. Now we delve into Balakandam directly. Balakanda Sarga 1, very, very, very important. Samkshepa Ramayanam. People must chant this every day, is what our scriptures say. If not every day, at least maybe every Saturday or maybe Ekadashi, or especially during the Ramnavami times also people chant. Chanting the Samkshepa Ramayanam. Samkshepa Ramayanam is nothing but the gist of the Ramayana is the first Sarga. First Sarga Balakandam, or first Sarga the entire Ramayana is Samkshepa Ramayana, wherein the entire Ramayana is told in Samkshepa. Samkshepa is short in just about 100 verses. I suppose few of you would already know, but those who don't know, you can maybe learn it. In this class we are looking at the meanings, so therefore whenever you get a chance, you can learn it. Now I'll tell you the background story. Samkshepa Ramayana. Okay. Now just a background reference to how this context comes in. Now if you know the story of Valmiki, now all these things had happened. Now Valmiki started writing the Ramayana after Sita comes to his hermitage. So Valmiki is very, very disturbed because before Sita came to his hermitage, he had in his mind that Rama was very great. Rama is only complete man, Raymond man. So he always had this in his mind that only Rama is the one who is great. There is no one like Rama in the Treta Yuga. But then when he knew that Rama also had sent his wife to the forest, at that time he was totally disturbed. He says that means he lost faith even in Rama, and he felt that even Rama is also not a complete man at all. Even he also is falling down. If Rama only is falling down like this by sending his own pregnant wife to the forest, then what about other men? What about the people all around? So he was very, very disturbed, and he feels that even Rama is also not perfect. There is no one perfect in this world. That's where he was just thinking about all this, and at that time he learns a ashariri vakyam, a shariri vakyam. Now note this word, shariram is body, shariri is one who owns the body. Now we are all shariris, we have a body, and a shariri, that is one without a body, we can only listen to that, a shariri. So he listens to this a shariri vakyam. Now what is that? Now, there are many places where we get to listen this ashariri vakyam, right? Even in the context of Krishna Avatara, after Vasudeva and Devaki's marriage, when Kamsa was riding the chariot and taking them away, at that time also the ashariri vakyam tells from heaven that the 8th child of Devaki will be your killer, O Kamsa. Like that, similarly, when Valmiki was developing all these thoughts, at that time Brahma comes there and tells that now you have to start writing the Ramayana. And then Narada also comes there to guide guide Valmiki to start writing the Ramayana. And that's where once Narada comes in front of Valmiki asks the first verse. Tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidam varam Naradam paripapracha Valmiki muniping pungavam. Now here the first verse talks about the qualities of Valmiki himself. Tapaha swadhyaya niratam. Tapaha. Now you know the significance of the word tapaha. Tapaha. Ta is the 16th letter that comes in the Devanagari Varnamala. You can count and see for yourself. And pa is the 21st letter. So the combination of that ta and pa together is tapaha. So tapas swadhyaya niratam. Swadhyaya, one who has done a lot of studies. From his side, tapaha does a lot of meditation. Tapasvi vagvidam varam. Vagvidam varam. Vag is speech. One who can speak properly. Naradam paripapracha. Paripapracha. Pracha meaning to ask. Paripapracha. Paripapracha meaning to ask very thoughtfully. Valmiki Muni Pungavam. Pungavam is among all the experts who are there, experts among scholars. One was Valmiki, who was very, very thoughtful and knowledgeable, and he asked a question to Narada. This is the gist of this verse. Now, what is so special in this verse, or why this verse needs a very deep explanation? Now, we will go to the reference of the Gita, the Mahabharata. Now, if you see in the Mahabharata, Krishna He's a charioteer of Arjuna, and Arjuna was riding on the chariot. So obviously the charioteer will be one level below than the master who's riding the chariot. And it is said that while now in those times, though the chariot was big, when Arjuna was sitting on the chariot, many times his leg it used to fall on Krishna's back. Because Krishna is just sitting in front of him right now. If a person is sitting in front of us and there is not much gap, obviously if we move our legs or something, not on purpose but by mistake at least, our leg will fall on the opposite person, right? And then we ask for forgiveness. But sorry, my leg fell. It happened so in the case of Arjuna and Krishna too, because Krishna was sitting one level below because he was a charioteer, he was riding the chariot. Many times Arjuna's feet used to fall on the back of Krishna. And in spite of all this also, Krishna he gave the Upadesha of the Gita to Arjuna. And at that time, Krishna in the normal conversations, he tells Arjuna that it is fine that now I am telling you are just like my friend, you are my cousin, I gave you the Upadesha. And later we also see that if you have ever seen the picture of the Gita, you will see that Krishna is standing on the battlefield and Arjuna falls at its feet and asks. But initially Arjuna did not know all this. He did not even know that Krishna is going to give him some Upadesha. That's only when in the 7 or 8 chapters of the Gita are done, at that time Arjuna realizes that the person in front of me, who I was thinking to be my Sakha, who I was thinking to be my friend, who I was just thinking to be my charioteer, is actually the Lord himself. I failed to realize this. So at that time, less like a normal conversation, he tells Krishna that what all this, I don't want to fight this and I'm very disturbed, I cannot kill my own cousins and so on. He starts blabbering. At that time, Krishna, once he starts giving the Upadesha of Gita, he tells that okay, today we are cousins and friends, so I have told you all your answers in this way. But still, we have pariprachena sevaya, pariprashnena sevaya. So, whom should we tell, or a guru who's there? The importance of a guru-shishya relationship has been told here. Whenever a person whom we regard as guru, or whenever a person is trying to tell us something, we must always be one level below. Otherwise, a person will not tell. But here, so Krishna tells this to Arjuna there that today it's okay, I am a charioteer, many times I am sitting one level below you, you consider me your friend, cousin and so on, all that is fine. But always remember that if from a guru you learn something, you should always be one level below. You should always stand one level below. Only then you will realize that, and only then you can absorb the teachings completely. This is what Krishna tells to Arjuna. And then Arjuna finally realizes all this, and then we know in the 7th and 8th chapter he realizes that Krishna is Lord himself, he falls at his feet and so on. So same way, and here also, there also in the Krishna, as he tells in the Gita, pariprashnena sevaya, that is, asking questions is not wrong, but only if questions are asked in the right way, they are wrong. So there will be many people who will ask questions just to poke and test your knowledge. For example, now I'll tell you that I know the Ramayana. Out of 36 people, maybe 5 or 6, what do you know about the Ramayana? Tell little. I'll start this, that. Then they will keep on poking questions. I'm just giving you one random example. They'll keep poking questions, this, that. So out of their way, the way they ask questions, we can immediately make out that this person does not wish to gain knowledge on anything. It's just that he's trying to test my knowledge of the Ramayana. Right? Now such questions, such experiences, many of you would have come up. There are a few people who ask us questions, but not with the purpose of knowing the answers, not because they have that, they want to know something, they want to learn something, not for the sake of knowledge. It's just for questioning us. And this is very, very wrong. Or we also end up doing this sometimes, right? We feel that, the opposite person does not know anything. I will purposely poke and ask him 1 or 2 questions just to test. This is very, very wrong. When should we ask questions? Just like tapaswadhyaya niratam. You do your swadhyaya and come and then you ask me questions, I will like. Now I say about the Ramayana, from your side you try to find out something, what is Ramayana. See, the right way of asking questions is, I have read about the Ramayana, I know it is a story of Rama, he ultimately goes and he kills Ravana, but I want to know about it in detail. So can you explain me? This is the right way of asking questions. Now, these are a few qualities which we must learn from the Ramayana, which we must learn from Valmiki. So that is the reason why this first verse has been included. Tapaswadhyaya niratam, tapasvi vagvidam varam. Vagvidam is, he knew about what is right and wrong. He knew the right way of asking. Vagvidam varam. And then finally, after doing a swadhyaya and tapaha, he finally asks Naradam Paripapraksha Valmikir Munipungavam. Now Valmikir is the right word, but here in this context it is given Valmikir Munipungavam. Is correct. Both of them you can chant. Valmikir is more correct. So now note one thing, that whenever we ask questions also, say for example you ask me a question, it is not needed that I am answerable to you, right? If you are asking me questions, I can say no, I don't want to answer. That way also we can do. But then whenever we have this, you have the will, or you want to know something, we have the true desire, you want to learn something, know about something, the way of questioning is also very very important. And so this verse tries to show that. Second lesson that we get is, now here in the case of Narada, he was a Devarishi, right? So therefore Valmiki obviously knew that Narada is a Devarishi, I must shower my pranams to him, I must always respect him and so on. But irrespective, all our scriptures say that if anyone tries to teach us anything, it may not be even teaching. Randomly also, if anyone is telling something, is sharing their knowledge with you, that person is a guru, and we must always revere them very very high, irrespective of their age, gender, qualifications, or the way that they speak. We must never go and question. You see a few people, this I'm not saying it is wrong, then whenever we want to learn something, what they will do is, they will first take out the background of the teacher. Who's going to teach me? What, from where have they learned? What is their qualification? This, that, all that, they will do their research. Okay, before we join something, obviously you must do your own research, but then questioning someone is very very wrong, is what is being said. Because if someone is telling that okay, we are going to teach something, surely that, and if you want to learn, that means you don't know, you're one level below and that opposite person is one level high. So there we must not go and question, saying that from where did you learn, what did you learn, how did you learn, how can you do this, you're not fit for this role but still you're doing something. We go and question, right? Or at least we come across people who do this. This is very very wrong. Our culture does not promote this at all. If a guru comes to your life, that person from that day onwards is your guru. Even from a small child also, it can be a very simple example. Now from children, what we can learn is that child is there, 1 minute it feels bad about something, it cries. Next minute it gets distracted towards something else, it completely forgets why it was crying, right? Maybe the next minute it starts laughing. This is a lesson that we get to learn from the child, that do not keep worrying about the same things again and again. This is life. Today some things are good, tomorrow it's going to be bad. So why not enjoy whatever is there and be happy with what we have, then just crying about one thing that is bad and forgetting the 10 things that are good, right? So this is one lesson that we get to learn from a small child. So looking at each and everything with a learning aspect and being very very humble is important. That is what is shown through the first verse of the Ramayana, Valmiki. So these are the qualities of Valmiki. Tapaswadhyaya niratam. With this the Balakandam starts, wherein Valmiki asks a very great question. You can say this question changes, and that's how changes the world, and that's how we get the Ramayana. So what is that? Let's have a look at that. कौन वस्मिन् साम्प्रतं लोके गुणवान् कश्च वीर्यवान् धर्मज्ञश्च कृतज्ञश्च सत्यवाक्यो दृढव्रतः. Note here, dridhavratah is the first the, not the first the. So here Valmiki asks a question to to Narada, right? That कः अस्मिन्, कौन वस्मिन् is कः अस्मिन् साम्प्रतं लोके. He has not loke, he has included sampratam. In today's present world, you tell me one person who is gunavan, who has good qualities. Kashcha viryavan is also very strong. Viraha. Dharmagnyascha follows dharma. Kritagnyascha is always grateful. Satyavakyo always speaks the truth. Dridhavrataha, he is firm and determined in whatever he does. Now it is said that in the case of Rama, he was so gunavan, that is gunavan is he had such good qualities that in the case of Rama, just as water flows from up to down. Now if you pour water from a bottle or so, or from a mug, anything you do, water will always flow from up to down, right? So similar is the Lord's mercy, it is said, Lord's compassion, karuna. In this case Rama, it can be any god. Mercy of the god is compared to this guna, just as water. Like now to water, if you tell to even stop, now if you pour water from above a river, flows from a mountain or waterfall. You take an example of a waterfall. You cannot tell it to flow from down to up, right? It will always flow up to down. Even if you tell it to stop, the water cannot stop itself. It will always keep flowing. This is similar to the Lord's Karuna, it seems. Even though a person goes on the wrong path also, the Lord's mercy and Karuna will always keep flowing, just as water keeps flowing from up to down. This is what has been told. Gunavan. So Rama's virtues were like this. These were the qualities of Rama. But now Narada has not given an answer yet, because he knows that Valmiki has already developed doubts for Rama in his mind. So he does not give an answer. He just says, okay, let him finish his question. So 16 qualities that he asks, these are a few of them. But in today's times, who is the one who is virtuous, physically strong, follows dharma, who is grateful, satyavakyo, who always speaks the truth and is firm in whatever he does. चारित्रेण चको युक्तः सर्वभूतेषु कोहितः विद्वान् कः समर्थश्च कश्चैकप्रियदर्शनः. Charitreena, one who has a character. We say, right, in our everyday life, characterless. What is characterless? Does not have a character at all. That means maybe his way of speaking, way of conducting himself, way of maybe behaving, that will be not good. So that's the reason we say no. Is a person without character. Rama, Charitrena, so Charitram is character. Yuktaha. Ko-yuktaha is mainly one who has respect. Sarvabhuteshu kohitaha, one who always thinks about the welfare of all beings. Vidwan kakkas samarthascha. Vidwan is very knowledgeable person. Kashchaika priyadarshanaha. Samarthaha is being able to do anything. You tell him to do something, he will be able to do that. Kashchaika priyadarshanaha, very good looking also. Now Rama, he was so good looking, it is said that even when he turned old also, it is said that now Rama, he ruled for almost 11,000 years. We had Rama Raja. In spite of that, Rama never turned old, it seems. Or even in his old age also, Rama looked very young. So priyadarshanaha, very good to look at. That's where we have Kamala Lochanam and all that, having lotus-like eyes and so on. So one who has a good character, one who is possessed of good characters, one who thinks about the welfare of all other living creatures, one who is knowledgeable, one who is able to do anything that is being told to him, and one who is very, very good looking. Such a person who has the qualities in him. Next is Atmavan ko jita krodho dyutiman ko nasuyakaha kasya bibhyati devacha jataroshasya samyuge. So here Atmavan, one who is Atmavan is very firm from inside. Let anything happen anywhere outside, someone tells, okay, tries to, now many times people provoke us, right, and they try to disturb us. But and then we get disturbed, and then no, he told me something, now I'm mentally disturbed, physically disturbed. All that never happens in the case of Rama, because he is very, very firm from inside. Jitakrodha, one who is Dyutiman is brilliant. Jitakrodha, one who has control, one who is very controlled in whatever he does. Ko nasuyakaha, Asuya meaning jealousy, one who is not jealous at all. That is Anasuya. Kasya bibhyati devascha, even the gods also fear him when provoked to war. Otherwise he is fine. Jataroshasya samyuge. Jatarosha is when provoked, even the gods also will fear him. So this again tries to show is being good is fine, but at the same time that doesn't mean that you keep on listening to everyone all around, everywhere, and say at the loss of your own, maybe your own character, or maybe we have to also change our way of life and all that. Not so. You try everything in the good path, in the path of ahimsa, but if things don't work out, then we have to change our paths too. Just like in the Rama-Ravana Yuddha, till the last step Rama was convincing Ravana that even now I give you a chance, But Ravana did not wish to improve. That's what. Then the war was inevitable. It had to be done, and then we know what happens. Ravana was destroyed. एतदिच्छाम्यहं श्रोतुं परं कौतूहलं हि मे महर्षे त्वं समर्थोऽसि ज्ञातुमेवं विदं नरम्. So here Valmiki says that all this I want to listen from you. Etadicchamaham shrotum param kautuhalam hime. Your kautuhalam is I am very curious to know about this. Maharshe tvam samarthosi. You are the right one who can tell me, O Narada. Jnatumevam vidam naram. Please, you remove my curiosity. I am very, very curious and inquisitive to know all this. So please tell me who this is. And this is just for your understanding, you can note it. These are different qualities that have been put. When hearing these words, what does Valmiki tell? Shrutva chaitatrilokagno Valmikev narado vachaha shruyatam medicha mantra prarishto vakyam abravit.
Can you show that slide? Perfect human being. Only 1 minute.
You want to see this? Okay.
Ma'am, Anasuyakaha is not being jealous,
Not
no?
being jealous, correct.
Right.
Shrutva chaitat trilokagno. Now, on listening to all these words, Narada says that, okay, you hear this, and what is that? He Shruyatam iti cha mantre. Shruyatam means please listen to me. Cha mantre, very attentively you listen to me. And then Narada starts speaking. What does he speak? Bahavo durlabhaschaiva ye tvaya kirtita gunaha mune vakshamyaham buddhva taidyukta shruyatam naraha. He says that, O sage Valmiki, the merits or the good qualities that you have told, all these qualities, maybe now amongst all the qualities that we saw, 16 qualities, maybe a few gunas are there in even you and me, right? Does that mean that we are Rama? No. So having all the qualities in one person is actually very, very difficult. But still, there is one person who has all these qualities, and I know about such a man. So I will tell you, Tairyukta Shruyatam Naraha. You listen about this person. Who is that? Ikshvaku Prabhavo Ramo Nama Janai Shrutaha. Now note here the way this Shrutaha is written here, that's a wrong way of writing. We must write it Shru. That is how we write Shri. Similar way you have to write Shra. Here this may be in typing sometimes the font it doesn't support a few softwares, so therefore they might have written with the normal Sh and small if you see a line below that, but it should not be written this way. Shru is the right way of writing Shri. Niyatatma Mahaviryo Dritiman Vashi. So one who is born, who has come from the Ikshvaku Vamshaha, his name is Rama. Niyatatma Mahaviryo. Niyatatma, whatever he does, he is very, very firm, great hero, Dritiman, very brilliant. Dhritiman Vashi, Dhritiman, Dhyutiman and Dhritiman both have a slight difference. Dhritiman is very, very firm. Vashi he is a controller of his own senses. Vashi is very, very important. We say Vashikaraha, meaning to go against something, right? Not to go against something. It is like Vashi is, in Hindi we say, right? Uske vash mein jana. Vash mein jana is nothing but we get engrossed in something. If someone tells, now there are a few people, someone tells us something, immediately we will listen, oh, is it like that? Okay. We believe in people immediately, right? It is said that we must not believing or having trust is not wrong, but then on whom we believe and on what we believe is very, very important. Someone tells anything and we believe immediately, it can lead to our own destruction tomorrow. So Vashi, and even especially our control, senses. Let us forget about the outside world. Many times we ourselves, we believe, or we can say we are controlled by our own senses. I've already eaten my fill, but still I feel like no, my stomach is full, but still I like the dish that is being prepared. I feel like eating more. I take one more piece, I'm happy, still I feel like eating more. Again, continuously I start consuming. That's where our control, that is tongue, has got hold of us. The taste buds are causing us trouble. So that's where I've already eaten my fill. I'm satisfied with that, but again some problem has come in. What is that problem? Is my tongue is pulling me towards eating, my senses are not controlled, right? So Vashi is very very important. Rama was not amongst that. He was a controller of his own senses. बुद्धिमान् नीतिमान् वाङ्मी श्रीमान् शत्रुनिबर्हणः विपुलांसो महाबाहुः कम्बुग्रीवो महाहनुः. Buddhiman, very knowledgeable one. Neetiman, Neeti, he knew what is correct. Moralist, he knew what are proper ethics, what are morals, he knew to follow them properly. Vangmi is very very learned. And Chatrunibarhanaha, one who can kill asuras. Vipulamso Mahabahu, one having very long arms. It is said that Rama was 8 feet tall and he had very long arms. Ajanubahu, that's why the reason for calling Rama Ajanubahu is he had very long arms, it is said. And Kambugrivaha, Kambu is like a conch shell. His neck was like a conch shell, and Mahahanu, cheekbones were high. Now that is why all this is mentioned is physically also he was very strong. So you look at maybe a bodybuilder or a person who takes care of his body, a gym person, you will see that maybe their biceps, their face, the entire body is very structured. Like you have a proper shape that is given to their body. So it is like that. So Rama was also, you can say, a gym body man. So very pleasant to look at. Now Rama, note one thing, that when he went to the Gurukula of Vasishta in those times, even today also we have these physical activity sessions and all that in schools. But in those times, in the Gurukula of Vasishta did not ensure that the children, the kids who came to his Gurukula, they learned only the Shastras, Vidyas, scriptures, they studied and they went away. He focused a lot on physical activities also. That is where we have, I don't know if you have read across, but there it comes that lot of Surya Namaskara was being done by all the 4 boys. All the 4 boys and as well as other children of the Gurukula. Surya Namaskara till date, if you see, many people say that if you do the 12 Surya Namaskaras that people do. And today I think we have many so-called like competitions also, right? 108 Surya Namaskaras people do. Has anyone heard all this? Or maybe...
yes, people do like
like
108.
108 and all that. I think there are some competitions also, like how we have these so-called marathons, people run and all that, right? So similarly, this Surya Namaskara doing challenges also come in, which Rama and his brothers did in those times. So this was a practice that was done there, and that's the reason why he was very very strong physically too. Now here you see this last line, physical qualities an emperor should have by birth. Now why so much of focus has been done on the physical qualities of Rama also? His neck was like this. So basically like a conch shell means the neck is very very shaped. People, you see a few people, especially people who are maybe you can say physically they are a bit fat. We cannot call them fat, but then you have some kind of disorder. Like for example, even those thyroid problems that people have, their necks, you see, it's like an extra growth, right? So of course there they cannot help it, we have to take different treatments and all that. But in the case of a Kshatriya, why it is mentioned here emperor, a Kshatriya, Rama belonged to the Kshatriya line, he has to be physically fit also. If he is not physically fit, how can he fight with his enemies? Now this is not again limited to a Kshatriya alone. For all human beings also, just as mental health is important, physical health is also equally important. If you are not physically fit, you cannot do anything, right? What can we do? Because I am not able to get up only. Then what you can do in life? Can you sit and read something, or can you do any other thing? No, you have to just be lying on your bed. So physical health is also very very important, and all our scriptures try to show this also by mentioning all this in detail. So whenever we have not only the Ramayana, many other texts also, for example, in Kalidasa's works of many Sanskrit stories and dramas that Kalidasa writes, a great Sanskrit poet, in that why so much of description is given to the physical aspects, or maybe to only nature's beauty? For that, one, there are many reasons to that. One is, a very simple reason, is to show the poetic genius. Second reason, or very common reason, is to try to signify the importance of physical strength also. That is also equally important. That is the reason why in the Ramayana, or why Valmiki also, why so much of time he gives and keeps on describing, especially in the Sundarakandam, and so if you read about, or later also, here also if you see, some people will get irritated. Now what I have to do? His arms are long, his neck is like this, his ears are like that, his cheekbones are like this. What I have to do? You tell me the qualities of Rama, you tell me what I can follow from him, right? Oh, as if tomorrow I can also go and build my neck like a conch shell and my cheekbones are, I'll go to a gym and do all this. Can I do that? Or why should I even focus on that? Many people will have this doubt, right? Through all this, what it tries to show, or what Valmiki tries to show, is that physical strength is also equally important, especially in case of a Kshatriya, because he had to fight his enemies. It was much more important. But this is not limited to Kshatriyas alone, it is limited for all human beings. If we are not physically strong, we cannot do anything. Therefore, physical strength is also equally important. That is the reason people today, when so much of awareness has come, that even from your early 20s or so also, people are having heart attacks, this and that. That's where we become aware, right? Oh, I have to take care of my health now. So, health conscious that we do today, when people say that today we feel things have come in only today, right? Oh, people are health conscious, people follow different diet plans, people go to gym every day. All this was being followed by Ramayana. Maybe we forget things in between, and then suddenly something comes in. Like for example, the COVID pandemic. 2 years before that, everyone was being very happy. They were following whatever they wanted to do. All these years our ancestors were telling you, come home, once you come home you wash your hands, feet and face. Nobody paid heed. Let me sit for 2 minutes, what you're telling me. And then when the COVID times came, now wash your feet, hands, that's when it starts making sense. Before a person enters a house, you have a sanitizer bottle ready, right? No, wash your feet there, wash your hands there, sanitize yourself, then enter the house. First you go and take a bath, keep your clothes separate. Every one of us, we did all this, right? Then, this is one example. Second is the different things that we made and had, right? You have this, you mix turmeric with some hot water, you put this, put that, it increases your immunity. All this has been told in Ayurveda Shastra. We never followed that. We forgot in between. We never paid heed to that. But when the COVID pandemic came, no. Everyone is drinking that. I should also drink. My immunity level will go. Otherwise, I'll also die. Like the other COVID patients that are there. So this is one more example. Third example is physical strength. Just as here it has been mentioned, a physical body. That's where we realize the importance of being physically fit, right? That's where we have to boost our immunity levels. Now today, if all of us, we knew how the pandemic has changed the world, right? So many lakhs and lakhs of people have died. Out of that, we have all surpassed that, and today we are at least alive. At least 42 of us, we are alive today. So that itself, now here, to some extent, maybe we were fit, or we took in some efforts. You had the vaccines, this and that, everything. And of course, the grace of God also. So I'm not saying that physical strength alone is a 100% guarantee that you will always be fit and fine, no disease will come to me. It's not like that. But whatever we have, the point of telling all this is, we feel that today something has cropped in, so it is something which is a very modern concept, or today's life itself has changed. All that would be true, but everything, whatever has been told in the scriptures, now I had to give you a few examples, right? Ramayana talks about physical strength, or Ayurveda Shastra talks about these different whatever we drank, the different kadas, decoctions, this, that, everything. All that has been told already in Ayurveda Shastra. Or wash your feet, hands, face. Already our ancestors, grandmothers, grandparents, they were telling us. There is nothing new. What is new then? Today we are being so proud that the world itself has changed. What is new? Nothing is new, right? It's just that we just forgot things in between, and today, because something has come in, like the pandemic came in, that's where it just was a reminder to all of us that whatever you have forgotten, please revise that now today. Please remember that and follow that accordingly. So therefore, physical qualities are also equally important. Next, Mahorasko Maheshwaso Kudajatrurirandamaha Ajanubahu Sushiraha Sullalatasva Vikramaha. He is broad chested, Mahorasko, Mahauraskaha, gym body man. Maheshwasaha, thick shoulder, broad shouldered man. Gudajatrurarindamaha. Gudajatrur Maheshwaso is a great man. Gudajatrurarindamaha is thick shoulder or broad shouldered. Ajanubahu, knee length are his arms. Such were his arms, so you can imagine his body. Sushiraha, long bow. Sulalataha, Suvikramaha. Lalataha is also very big. Now you see a few people, their foreheads are very broad, right? So that shows, it looks very, they are very broad headed, we say. So he had a very big, broad forehead too. And Suvikramaha, Lion-like was just as a lion. You look at a lion only, you feel, oh wow, this is something. Lion's great. You look at a lion and maybe a cat walking nearby, you can see the difference. The way a lion walks, that itself shows the greatness of the lion. Nobody has made. Lion does not fight for becoming the king of the forest, right? Lion itself has been made. Similar was the gait of Rama also. The way he walked was like a lion. So these are the qualities of Rama. Further, समस्समविभक्ताङ्गः स्निग्धवर्णः प्रतापवान् पीनवक्षा विशालाक्षो लक्ष्मीवान् शुभलक्षणः. Samavibhaktanga. This is very, very important. Overdose of anything is bad. He was a gym body man, no doubt, but then he did not consume supplements. I'm giving you an example. He worked out every day and it was a natural body. Medium sized man. He did not do something over, and then you see a few people who do all this gymming. I don't know if anyone does it here too. Sometimes they will do it to overextend. When they do it overboard, that's where they look very weird, right? And we know immediately, oh, this person has done something too much, and that's where the person does not look good at all. So here it's samaha. So through this, what we get to understand is doing everything is fine, but maintaining a proper level is equally important. Just because I want to build a good body, I'll keep on doing that. Or not only in the case of a physical body, it can be for anything. Doing things is not wrong, but knowing where to stop is also equally important, right? So samavibhaktangaha snigdhavaranaha pratapavan snigdhavaranaha pratapavan. Snigdhavaranaha is everything was equal. Peenavaksha vishala aksho lakshmivan shubhalakshanaha. All the features that here, for example, his chest or his eyes, complexion, everything was, you can say, snigdha varanaha. Though he, now Rama and Krishna, though we know that they are dark complexion, they were what you can say, it is like very shiny to look at. Or you look at a few people, they are full of tejas, as we say, very bright, very positive. You just look at a person, they don't even have to talk to you, but just by looking at them we feel happy, right? We just feel, I just feel like listening to you more and more. I've not met you physically, I've not seen you anytime, but still I just feel like listening to you, right? Or maybe a few singers, when they sing songs or so, we would have never seen them, but then just by listening to their songs also we feel happy. So Rama was that kind of a personality. You don't have to meet him personally, you don't have to even see him in front of you, you don't have to talk to him. Still by looking at him we feel very, very happy. That was that kind of a personality Rama had. Peenavaksha Vishalaksho Lakshmivan Shubhalakshanaha. Lakshmivan is very, very prosperous, very happy to look at. Shubhalakshanaha had all kinds of good qualities in him. धर्मज्ञः सत्यसन्धश्च प्रजानां च हिते रतः यशस्वी ज्ञानसम्पन्नः शुचिर्वश्यः समाधिमान्. In this, Dharmajnaha, he knew what is correct, righteous path, he always followed. Satyasandhascha, always spoke the truth. Prajanam cha hite rataha, cared for his subjects. Yashasvi, whatever he did, he was always yashasvi, always attained success in that. Shuchihi, very, very pure. And Samadhiman is, he was always being contented and controlled. So that is Dharmajnaha Satyasandhascha. He was very, very glorious. He knew he always followed dharma, that is, he was always righteous, he spoke the truth, he cared for his subjects, whatever he did, he attained success, he was full of knowledge. Jnana Sampannaha. Shuchihi is very pure in whatever he did, and very clean, a clean man. We say a man having clean habits, right? So you see a few people who say a man of clean habits, but they say no, I don't have any kind of bad habits. At home I don't do something. No, there are a few people you see, they are very smart. I don't understand this concept at all. They say no, at home I don't do anything, but when I'm outside I'm fine. At home I consume only sattvic food, not even onions, garlics and so on. But when I go outside I am open to anything. I'll consume even non-veg, I'll have drinks. What is this concept of clean then? I'm not against anyone, but then you should not say this. At home I'm like this, outside I'm like that. Whatever you do, you be firm, right? So this is where people go wrong. Right? At home I'm like this, outside I'm like that. So many people we come across, right? Or there will be many of us also who do this. Now at home we have a few rules that I do, but outside I change as per my friend circle or as per my group who's there. I do change. This is very very wrong. And here is where we are not firm at all. You are doing something, you must stick to that. Now this doesn't mean that we don't adjust. Like few people will say, no, I want only this kind of food. Wherever I go, I'll get only this. Or no, I get sleep only in my pillow. So wherever I go, I'll carry my house pillow and go. It's not like that. Life is of course full of adjustments. But then, in case of a few habits that are there. Now in this case, if you see, for example, Sita. Not only Rama, we have to consider for this. Sita, she was abducted by Ravana. But then Ravana there, he did not ill-treat her. He told her that I will make you my chief queen. I'll make you stay in the palace of Lanka. You will be blessed with all kinds of riches. You can come and enjoy. If needed, Sita could have done that, right? But she was very firm. She said, no, I already have Rama. If I do that, tomorrow maybe Rama will not have a problem. He'll always be happy for me. But I have my own principles. I cannot go against them, right? I am very firm in what I do. I am a Ekapati Vrata. Not only for the sake of Rama, she tells very clearly that she fights for herself. Why she did not stay with Ravana? Why she did not marry him? For this, there is a very simple reason. She tells that I have my own principles. I will not go against that. Tomorrow first of all, Rama does not even know where I was, right? So to find out where Sita is, only it took 8 months for Rama. Then 2 more months to fight the war and everything, and finally get Sita back. So Sita did not have this thought that what will Rama think, because she knew that Rama will always be happy. Even if Sita married Sita, Rama will be happy. And Rama knew that Sita will never do this. But in spite of that, even if for Sita's happiness, Rama is ready to do anything. This is what we believe in. So here, what Sita also, not only Rama, we must never forget even Sita. So that's why they were very firm in whatever they did. So this is one quality which all of us we must learn, is that being firm. Mostly what happens is that, including you and me, what we do is, depending on the situation, we will change. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana is always different. I think something, I speak something else, and I end up doing the third thing. This is what we do. No, I said so, but then today my mind has changed. I'm doing something else. This is what we say, right? It should not be done. Rama did not do this at all. He was very, very firm. Shuchir Vashyaha, one having clean. Whatever he said, he do. Clean habits. Samadhiman, self-control. He knew whatever he did was right. He knew whatever he did was always correct. And he knew what he was doing. Many times what happens is, what we do, that also we don't know at all, right? So, that is where we go wrong. Now for this, I'm just giving you out of interest, so it is not directly connected to the Ramayana. We must not limit ourselves to read only the Valmiki Ramayana. To enjoy the commentaries properly, you must, whenever you get a chance, of course, you must go through Bhojaraja's Ramayana Champu. I have just read it to some extent, so I'm telling you. Now what is this Ramayana Champu? I don't know if anyone is familiar with Champu Kavyam. Champu Kavyam is a mixture of, in Sanskrit literature, Champu Kavyam is a mixture of both Gadyam and Padyam. Gadyam is prose, Padyam is poetry. A combination of both is Champu Kavyam. Yes, mixture of Padyam and Gadyam is Champu Kavyam. In Bhojaraja's Ramayana Champu, very beautifully he talks about Rama. Or even in Bhavabhuti's Uttar Ramacharitam is a Uttarakanda part, very beautifully he depicts Ramayana. So all this, to experience Ramayana fully, we must not limit it to only Valmiki Ramayana. Why I am saying this so is, now Valmiki, we know, Valmiki and Vyasa, both of them were present, physically present during the times of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So they were like news reporters. Whatever they saw around them, or whatever had just happened, they have just made a report as it is. So many times it happens that to enjoy the verse fully, many times just reading the verses of Valmiki and Vyasa are not enough. We must refer to the commentaries of Govindacharya, Tilakacharya, that are very famous. The commentaries are nothing but further explanations. Many times it happens that just by reading the translation we cannot understand, especially in the text like Gita or so, where it is very philosophical. At least in the case of Ramayana, because it is in a story format, we can understand easily. But in the case of Gita and so on, it becomes very difficult because it is sheer mere philosophy, right? So at that time we need someone to explain. Or even here also, you take a very simple example. Now here maybe, I'm not saying that all of you don't know the Ramayana, but still, why all of you have joined this class? Reason being, you want someone to tell, right? You want us to hear, you want to hear about that. I'm not doing something different. I'm also referring to the Ramayana only. Valmiki Ramayana. You also, most of you might have the books at home. You can also refer to this, read the translation and go away. But we don't do that. We like to listen to people talking about that. Maybe someone else, okay, they will give their interpretation, so I will learn that. So that is the reason why we attend. Or maybe on YouTube we listen to many people. Or maybe someone is talking about Ramayana, we go there. Does that mean that we don't know the story of Ramayana? We know the story of Ramayana, but we like to listen to that because we want to know each and everyone's interpretation, how people interpret things. Today the way I interpret, maybe all of you might have your own ways of understanding, right? Today now, I'll give you a simple example. This same words that you see in front of you, Dharmajna Satya Sandhascha, my way of explanation, if I tell all the 40 people to explain, each one of you will have your own way of explanation, right? You don't have the translation in front of you. Let's forget that. Some people, what they will do is they will just read what is given here. He is an or of rectitude bidden by the truth. Okay, this is explanation. I've just read what is there. Now you can understand. Someone will maybe pick out each word and then deeply they will explain. Or someone like me, they will tell in short and they will go away. Or a third person or a fourth person might explain it in a different way. Like this, there are different ways of explanation. So here we cannot fight and say that no, your way of explanation is correct or his way of explanation is correct. No, we cannot say that. So therefore, all of them are right in their own ways. But to experience Ramayana, that is because in Bhavabhuti is Uttar Ramacharitam, Bhavabhuti is free to use his own imagination. So that is very beautiful again. Or even in Bhojaraja's Champu, Ramayana Champu, he also tries to maintain the original story, but he also uses his own imagination. And that's where we can experience the beauty more. Now, one more very, very important kavyam. Do you know about one gadyam that is very famous on Rama? Anyone knows? A famous
Yes,
Raghuvira Gadyam.
Raghuvira Gadyam. Very, very nice.
And you taught us, madam, earlier.
Yeah. So a few people we have already learned together. But then others also, those who don't know that, you must learn Raghuvira Gadyam. जय जय महावीर महाधीर दौरेय देवासुर समर समय समुदित निखिल निर्जर निर्धारित निरवधिक माहात्म्य and so on. It goes on. No, there is no time much. Please, we'll learn that later. Those who don't know, please learn that Raghuvira Gadyam. So that is only Gadyam. Though we are chanting it, now that is the reason why when I chanted it also you will see that. I think there is an audio of that. Maybe I will share it later on the group. Those who don't know, you can listen to that. You will see that that cannot be chanted as a padyam. That cannot be chanted as a tune at all. It has to be chanted in the form of lines and stories and so on. There are no verses to that. Whereas a padyam is like the Ramayana is in the form of a padyam. You have proper shlokas, proper tune and everything. Ramayana Champu or Champu Kavyam will be a combination of both Gadyam as well as Padyam. So that has a beauty in itself. So the reason why I'm telling you all these extra references is to experience Ramayana in its whole, we must have knowledge of everything that is there. Then you need not even go to even Kalidasa, Ramayana Champu, Bhojaraja and all that. Even so many Ramayanas are there. You have the Ramcharitamanas, you have the Valmiki Ramayana. But now there are Ramayanas in different languages. Which language we know, that is very, very important, right? Maybe those who know Tamil, you can refer to Kamba Ramayanam. Those who know Malayalam, you can refer to Aritachan's Ramayanam. Those who know Avadi, that is Hindi, you can refer to Ramcharitamanas. And the Valmiki Ramayana, obviously everyone knows. So, depending on our culture and depending on the language that we know, we can read any Ramayana. So, what I'm trying to say is, do not limit your knowledge to Valmiki Ramayana alone. Though we are referring and though we are learning about Valmiki Ramayana in our sessions, our knowledge should not be restricted to this much. Secondly, it is said that learn this level of Sanskrit that you can be able to interpret Valmiki Ramayana in its original form. Then you will never have to refer to translations, commentaries and so on. So this is amount of Sanskrit knowledge that one should have, that you should be able to understand the Valmiki Ramayana in its original form. It is easy Sanskrit only. Now here also, if you look at the words here, there can be no one who can say that no, at least I did not understand the meaning of even one word. At least Dharmagnaha we can understand. Satya we know is truth. Yashasvi we have learnt it. Shuchihi we know is purity. Praja we know is people. Hitam we know is welfare. Now some people will argue here saying that maybe you know, so you're telling. I'm not telling that way. But then at least 10% all of us we know Sanskrit, because Sanskrit is mostly it is common for all our Indian mother tongues that we speak, mother languages. So therefore, to some extent we can know. Therefore, little efforts also if we put in the Valmiki Ramayana on its own, we can learn it in Sanskrit itself, and then we don't have to refer to some any other one's interpretation and so on. Okay. Next. Now Ravana is still continuing with his explanations. प्रजापति समश्रीमा धाता रिपुनिषूदनः रक्षिता जीवलोकस्य धर्मस्य परिरक्षिता. Prajapati Samaha. Prajapati Samaha meaning Prajapati is like the leader. Prajapati, another name for Lord Vishnu. He is equal to God. Rama, though, is a Naravatara, an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So here note one thing, that Valmiki, what is the question that he asks? To tell me a superior man. Konasmin sampratam loke. He has not asked the reference of any god. But here, therefore, though we consider today Rama as God, we must never forget that Rama is a living man here. Rama is Naravataraha. Rama has incarnated himself as man. Therefore, this conversation that takes place between Narada and Valmiki is in the context of Rama being a man only. So, therefore, Narada here tells that Rama is a man here, but still, in spite of being a man, he is Prajapati Samaha. He equals the omniscient. Omniscient is nothing but he is like the gods. Shriman, great man. Dhata. Dhata is the one who sustains or who takes care of the world. Ripunishudanaha. Ripu, enemies, killer of all enemies. Rakshita Jiva Lokyasya. Thus he is a protector of all the worlds. Dharmasya Parirakshita, and also the protector of righteousness. So, in the full form, he is the one who protects all the subjects and also protects Dharma. Next. Rakshita. This verse is very, very, very important. रक्षिता स्वस्य धर्मस्य स्वजनस्य च रक्षिता वेद वेदांगतत्वज्ञो धनुर्वेदे च निष्ठितः. This verse can come in the context of many references. What is that? Rakshita swasya dharmasya. He always fought for his own dharma. That is, his own dharma is kshatriya. First is self-respect, self-dharma. I have to be good conduct. All that was obviously there in Rama. Second is swajanasya cha rakshita. He always protected his own people. Now, why did he do this? Why only this has been mentioned first? Rama was born a Kshatriya. Kshatriya Dharmam is first to protect his own subjects before anything else. That is the reason why later also Sita had to be left in the forest, because for him Raja Dharma comes first. So, protecting one's own subjects, that is Kshatriya Dharmam. Rama was a Kshatriya. So, Swajanam or Swasya Dharmaha, first is follow your own Dharma. Life learning for all of us, life lesson for all of us is, out of this, what we all do is, we will not follow our own dharma. We will not do what is good for ourselves, but we will interfere in someone else. You first do your things properly, right? And then you know, no, I know everything about this, I want to learn something else. We say this. You first learn what has been told for you. That we don't do. That's the reason why from everywhere we learn something. Little we learn, and then we feel that everything is being. So that's where problem arises. So Rama, what he tries to show is, everything comes later. First is you swajanam. Only if you follow your dharma properly, others will also follow their dharma properly. So you don't have to delve and say that no, this I want to do this, I want to do that. All that is later. First you follow swasya dharma. Whatever has been told to you, you do that first. Now dharma need not always resemble only Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra and so on. We are not known just because you are born as a Kshatriya Dharma, okay, you belong to so and so family, so you have that. But please do not correlate this with caste, religion and so on. In olden times, just as Krishna says, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. I have divided, I have made the four professions, four sections of Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra and Kshatriya. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, for based on their guna, based on their qualities, karma based on their actions. On the actions, that is in the professions and the qualities that they have, I have divided on that. Never ever he mentions that there is some reference to some religion, or you are born in so and so family, so you become that. Nothing Krishna has ever mentioned anywhere. And in many other places also it comes in. Here also the same thing is being done. Swasya dharmaha. Dharma of a student is to learn. So first you do that. Dharma of a teacher is to teach. First you teach that. Dharma of a father is to take care of his children. First let the father do that. Dharma of a mother is to nurture her kids. First let her do that. So these are dharmas. Dharma of a doctor is to save a patient's life. That is his dharma. Leaving that, you should not do anything else. That is swasya dharma. So it need not always coincide within which family I am born, which caste I am born, which religion should I follow. Please note that the caste system or Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are not related to any caste. Today we are facing so many reservation, caste problems. All this is man-made. And then we feel that Brahmins have a top superiority, Shudras are ill-treated. All this is man-made. Not our scriptures have never promoted this. That's the reason Rama was also born a Kshatriya. Krishna was born a Vaishya. The Yadavas, they are Vaishyas. Yadavas belong to the business class. Krishna did the same thing, right? He was a Yadava. He indulged in the selling of dairy products, milk and milk products. So if they say that Brahmanas are superior, gods would also be born as Brahmanas. No. Second is they did not have discrimination even based on the color of the skin. That's why both Rama and Krishna, Meghashyamaha, as black as a cloud, we say for Krishna, right? If they feel that fair people are only great, then Rama and Krishna, they themselves, gods themselves, would have never been born as dark complexion, right? So then from where has all this come that I need a fair complexion son, fair complexion groom, fair complexion bride for my children? Where do we write that? That is man-made. Gods never told that. But then we are so used to that, we put a tag on gods, on our culture, on our dharma, saying that no, Hinduism talks about that. Where in Hinduism? You show us something. What Hinduism shows us that we can say in the Gita, at least Krishna tells in the 4th chapter, Chaturvaranyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha. He has told that and he has gone away. The way we interpreted, we note Chaturvaranyam maya srishtam. We learned only there, we are broken. We have not taken the efforts to read the second part. Gunakarma vibhagashaha, who will read that? I don't want to read that, right? So this is where we make a mistake. So here also Rama tells the same thing. Rakshita swasya dharmasya. First protect your own dharma alone. And next, what is his dharma? He says, Veda Vedanga Tattvajno, study the Vedas and Vedantas properly, and they are Tattvajnaha, the philosophies too. Only then you will attain knowledge. Just sitting and speaking about your Indra, all this is untrue. Who has written the Vedas? Who has taught the who has taught the different scriptures? Who has told what? Show me proofs for everything. Just as Bhattatri tells in Narayanyam, he says, Tarkaha. I think in the 9th Dashakam he says, Tarkam. Those who keep asking for Tarkam. Tarkam is nothing but proofs for everything. There are proofs, but those people, they don't want to see the proofs. When will we get the proofs and evidences for everything? Only when we open our scriptures and read. Now, if you don't read the Bhagavad Gita, you don't know it is mentioned that Chaturvaranyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha. You have not read this. But no, caste system, only Brahmins are superior, or other Shudras belong to the lower class, they are being ill-treated, caste system is there in India, all the gods are against this, Hinduism is against this, Hindu gods are against this, we will pass on these comments. Instead of this, you open the Gita for a minute and read that, you will get an answer for everything. Or you read the Ramayana himself, Balakanda, Shloka 14, Sarga 1, he says, Rakshita swasya dharmasya swajanasya cha rakshita veda vedanga tattvajno dhanurvede cha nishtitaha. It tells follow your own dharma, follow your own duties first. Dhanurvede cha nishtitaha, he was a person, Dhanurvedam is archery, he was the one who practiced archery. So this is the gist of Ramayana. Ramayana is a gist of the qualities of Rama, wherein he gives a very simple answer, or you can say a simple advice to all of us is, whatever you do, you first do your own dharma. So that is where people feel that today we have so many problems, right? Women, they say, women or anyone, no, I have a problem in balancing my work life and work-life balance, we have work-home life, something we have, right? So that is where, from where that balance should come. Or do I always have to go out of the way to do things? It is not that way. You do first your own duties properly. There are many people who proudly say that, no, I have kept 2 maids to take care of my children and I am doing my own profession, career, all that is fine. But then at that time, your duty is to take care of your children. Right? So at that time, your dharma is that. So why it is said that till the age of, now I'll give you one more example. Human life, 100 years we consider the average lifespan. 25, 25, 25, 25. If we divide 25 years knowledge, that is Vidya Dhyana. Next, 25 Grihastha wherein householder's life, you beget children, you settle. Then roughly at the age of 50, slowly you're towards retirement. You don't retire immediately, slowly. Retirement you start giving up. You know now half life has been settled, your children are also on the way of settling. So slowly you restrain yourself. And lastly is Sannyasashrama. Slowly just wait, do good things, whatever you have, maybe you enjoy that, you experience that. Do good things, study well, Veda Vedanga Tattvajno, you practice all that, and ultimately you are very happy with your life. But now if someone says, now though we say learning has got no age and all that, still till the age of 25 for a school going child, say for example till the age of 16 or 17 a child goes to school. If a person says no, first 40 years let me enjoy, eat, sleep, and then at the age of 40 I'll start going to school, that is not student dharma, right? So that's where we are not following our dharma. From the age of 1 to 25, maybe your dharma is to only study and gain knowledge. At that time don't waste time doing anything else. That is dharma, that is what you have to follow there. But from the age of 25 to 50, you are being parents, so most of your householders here are married people. Your duty at that time is to take care of your children. At that time your dharma changes. So you must do that dharma. At that time, no, I want to do this, I want to go about my children, I will leave them here and there, they have to be understanding this, that, what all we say, right? At that time we go wrong. That time our duty is to follow dharma. Then the parent dharma. So here, just as times change, our responsibilities change, dharma also keeps changing. So here what Rama says is, let anything happen, first is you protect your own dharma. Dharma is nothing but your own duty. And in his case, he gives his own example. My duty is being a Kshatriya. I have to protect my people. That's my first foremost duty. Second duty is I have to learn all the Vedas, Vedangas, Tattvagnya, everything that is there to gain proper knowledge. And also Dhanurvedam, archery. Only then I can subdue my enemies. So these are his qualities. Ramashastra 10th chapter of the Gita. Among the Shastras, among the people who use the weapons, I am Ramaha, the Lord says. Sarvashastrartha tatvagno smritiman pratibhanavan sarvaloka priyas sadhu adinatma vichakshanaha. He knows the meaning of all the Shastras. Smritiman, very intelligent, very smart. Pratibhanavan, Pratibha Shakti we say, or Pratibhashali, it means very, very brilliant. Sarvaloka priya, everyone likes. Who is there who does not like Rama? Everyone will like Rama, right? Sadhu is very good, very gentle. Adinatma vichakshanaha. Adinatma, meaning level. That is, now Adinatma, this meaning, if you look at this Adinatma, it means that a person not to judge people based on their character, or maybe now I belong to a royal family, I'm a prince or I'm a king, so I'll always keep my head up and walk. Say a roadside beggar, he's poor, he's the one who is dependent on me, only if I give him money he will survive. Having this attitude is very wrong. If you don't want, you don't give that person money, but then being proud, keeping our heads down. If you keep your heads down and walk, you'll fall down, right? You might be a king, you might be a rich man, or you might be a poor man. When you walk on the road, you have to always keep your head down only. You cannot walk up, otherwise you will fall in the pit below, right? So this, what it tries to show is, this is Adinatma. Rama was that person. That is the reason he never hesitated to take help from the monkeys and squirrels and bears, right? When Shabari, in his ashrama, in her ashrama, or even Kabanda, when he tells that first you will go and meet this lady Shabari, then finally you will go and approach the monkeys, Sugriva, they will come to your help. At that time, Rama does not hesitate. Oh, I am a king. What will the world think if I take help from monkeys? Will they even help me? How will it happen? And so on. He never thinks about that. In fact, he gave the monkeys and Sugriva one level high respect, right? Because they were the ones who helped him. Otherwise, he would have never reached Sita. So this is Adinatma, looking at everyone and everything equally, with an equal mindset. And Vichakshanaha, knowing what is right and what is wrong. Good discrimination power between right and wrong. Sarvada vigata sarves samudra iva sindhubihi arya sarva samaschaiva sadaiva priyadarshanaha. Now, always one who is sadbihi, just as Sadbihi Samudra iva Sindhubihi, just like many rivers ultimately go and meet the ocean. Similarly, everyone, Rama is like that, he is accessible, everyone can ultimately go and meet him. And he treats everyone Sarva Samaha, he treats everyone equally, always is Priya Darshanaha, very pleasant to look at. These are the qualities of Rama. So just as a river goes and meets, just as many rivers go and meet the ocean, similarly, Sadaiva Priya Darshanaha, Rama is also very pleasant to look at, people can go and approach him very easily. Sacha sarvagunopeetah kausalyanandavardhanah samudra iva gambhirye dhairyena himavaniva. Sarvagunopeetah, one having all the gunas, all the virtues. Kausalyanandavardhanah, the son of Kaushalya, who makes her happy. Samudra iva gambhirye, he is so deep like the samudra. His profound, or his fame is so deep like the samudra. But dhairyena himavaniva, at the same time he is very firm, he cannot be changed by anyone. just as the Himalayas mountain, or any mountain you can consider. Himavan Iva, so just as the Himalayas are very strong wherever they are, similarly, Rama also is very firm. He is very deep and firm like the ocean and the Himalayas. You have a reference from Shishupala-vadam. Magha. Now why this verse has been included here is that to stress upon the verse that has been told before. Himavan Samudra iva gambhirye dhairyena Himavan iva. Shishupala-vadam written by Magha. Magha is a great Sanskrit scholar like Kalidasa, Bhasa and so on. In Shishupala-vadam what he writes is that Tungatvamitara nadrao nedham sindhavagaadata alanganiyata hetuhu abhayam tanmanaswini. A mountain, Tungam, Matara Nadra, is very high, but it is not deep. That is, if you ever break a mountain, you see it will be, from inside it will have pores, right? You can immediately break it. It will not be deep at all. It's only high. Height is big. Sindhavagadhar, Gadhata, whereas Sindhu is Gadha. Gadha is very, very deep. It's not high. The ocean does not have height. It will only be very deep. You have to go inside. But Alanganiyata hetuhu abhayam tanmanasini. Having only one quality of this is very wrong. I'll be very tall, but then from inside there'll be only pores. Someone can come and break me easily. At the same time, ocean is very deep, but it is not tall at all. Then what is the use? Having just one of these qualities is not enough. People who are mentally strong, they will have both of these qualities. That is, their thoughts can be very high. They will have high ideals, and at the same time, they'll be deep, just sensitive. Now, how this is related to Rama, I'll give you the example. In the case of Rama now, Rama was a great scholar. Vedavad, Swajanasya Charakshita, Dhanurveda Nipunaha, all that was there. But at the same time, when Sita was abducted by Ravana, he shed tears, right? Because he felt the pain. He was very sensitive, he was very emotional. He felt the separation of his wife. So, though he knew, maybe that doesn't mean that he was not a great warrior. He knew that he has the powers to kill Ravana. So his thoughts are very high. That is, he had very great powers. But at the same time, just because I have great powers doesn't mean that I am hard stone, right? I have a stone of heart. It's not like that. He felt bad, or he felt very sad when his wife was being away. So some people, like, we should not be stone hearted. At the same time, we should not be even cotton hearted or very flowery hearted, right? So this verse tries to show that there should be a balance of both. Wherever needed, we must be emotional. Maybe a death has taken place also, and there you say, no, death is a way of life and so on. You sit there and maybe you smile and laugh and crack jokes. That is not accepted, right? You must feel sad. Maybe you need not cry, but at least we do feel sad. At the same time, in situations like this, wherein like a death has taken place or something like that, doesn't mean that we just plunge in sorrow alone. Some other day, we should balance ourselves and bring us out of that situation. So that is also equally needed. So a balance of both is very, very important, and Rama possessed these qualities. So Narada is still continuing. So this verse comes in the Shishupala-vadam, a very simple verse, but at the same time trying to reveal deep meaning. Okay, so today time is up. Let us conclude today with the qualities of Rama. We have just delved into Balakanda.